a tactical survival guide with David Meerkat Kennedy.
Parker Tree Frog Olson.
David Kennedy here, also known as Meerkat. I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming out and watching our presentation. The wilderness means a lot to me, and I've finally been able to pursue it, and I'd like to share my journey with all of you.
Parker Olson here, most know me as Tree Frog. I would just like to thank you guys again for coming out today and watching our journey unravel. Me and David Kennedy have put in endless hours into this video, blood, sweat, and tears, and hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
Research.
We took a lot of time to gather information on different survival techniques using many different sources such as the internet, books, magazines, TV shows, and documentaries.
Right, core of it inside, and that tastes a spark. Really nice and easy.
Whoa, when did you get there? Tree Frog here. Just reading one of my favorite books, Bear Grylls' Man vs. Wild Survival Techniques from the Most Dangerous Places on Earth. Yeah, this is probably one of the best resources I've used thus far. It's given me some of my most basic information I've used in this journey. Coming into this project, me and David didn't necessarily expect to spend so much time, so many hours, so many countless days doing research, like, really learning the skills, like, in depth, in our minds, and it's actually kind of surprising how many hours of research we did. You know what, it really paid off.
I want to get this on the fire as quickly as I can. And get it between the Achilles tendon and the leg. Put it straight onto this to cook. And you want it just away from the flames so it doesn't burn. You just cook this nice and slowly.
Preparation.
For this project, I've been getting my body in top physical shape. I don't stop until I've reached my peak. I have also been keeping myself on a nice, strict diet to achieve my maximal potential.
One more. Ah, there we go. Over the past couple months, haven't been eating junk food, been on a strict diet, a lot of kale, been doing some intense workouts at the gym. I've been running every day, trying to really get my heart rate up, getting ready for our hikes, getting ready for our research, all the regular stuff.
Basics of survival.
Meerkat here. The most vital information can be remembered by this one sentence. Please remember what's first. P for protection, R for rescue, W for water, and F for food.
Protection.
Tree Frog here. This looks like a great place to set up shelter. You can lean up sticks on both sides of this big log and sleep right under here. It's got pretty good insulation with these leaves, and it'll protect you from rain and wind. All we need now is some branches. Now, we've made a great base frame for our shelter. All we're gonna need are maybe some leaves or something else to patch it up to prevent us from getting wet at night. Tree Frog here. We've added some leaves, some pine needles, and some smaller branches to help us stay protected from rain. Let me show you what else I've got over here. This would be a great shelter to stay in. We left one side open so we can have a fire right here, keep us warm at night. I put some rocks around the ring to stop the fire from spreading and causing a forest fire. I'm gonna hop in here and show you what it's like. Great insulation with all the leaves in the ground. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty comfy stay tonight.
My favorite type of fire is Crikey lightning, get down! When a lightning strike is imminent, you want to get low and crouch to the ground. Avoid laying down. You want to stay away and do not touch any conductors. Keep your heels together, because if you're lucky and lightning passes through your feet, it can go in one foot and go in another. And also cover your ears to avoid any sound damage. If possible, it's always in your best interest to make either a spear or a dagger or a weapon or sword for your own protection. This will ultimately get you food, which will lead to water. It's always necessary to check for ticks after going into the wilderness. You want to check in hard to reach places such as the back of your knees, in your hair, and just all over your body. Come check this out. Watch out. Good camera.
This right here is some poison ivy. You want to stay away from this? This can cause hives and very bad rashes. Just got three leaves. Stay away from this.
Rescue!
When attempting to get rescued, it's very resourceful to use a signal fire. A signal fire can be used with any fire technique. What you need to do is you put like living things, so like green leaves, or like green grass, or green sticks really that are like kind of living, or any plastics, anything that burns with a dark smoke, like a black smoke, to get the attention of others around you so you can get rescued. Hey there. When attempting to get rescued, some important signals can be used to alert others of your status. The first signal I'm going to share with you is the international distress signal, and alerts others that you need help. It kind of looks like a Y. You hold your arms up like this, and you're good. The second signal I'm going to share with you alerts others that you need medical assistance. You're going to want to get on the ground and get into a kind of a laying down fashion. You're going to want to stick your arms out and keep your legs straight.
When trying to get rescued, it is in your best interest to know your directions. A simple technique you can do is by getting a stick about 1 meter long and digging it into the ground. This is called a shadow stick, and you put a rock to mark its first shadow, and you wait 15 minutes and put another one to mark another rock. So we waited about 15 minutes on the shadow stick, and you can see that the shadows actually moved a solid amount. At this point, you take another rock, mark the location of the shadow right now, take a stick, and draw a line in between the two. This line is your east and west line. For your north and south line, you make a 90-degree angle from that line to the stick. So now you have your own homemade compass.
On a calm day, you can hear a voice over 2 miles away.
In the wilderness, there are no second chances. If you chance to get rescued, it is in your best interest to get to an easily visible location.
Rescue!
Water.
Tree Frog here. Water is key to survival. It's got to be one of your first priorities, and you can only last a week without it. With food, you can last up to 2 weeks without it, but water, very important. Tree Frog here. An important aspect to surviving in the wilderness is being able to track prey and find out where they're getting their water source from so you can find water yourself and survive. We had some wildlife in here, but it looks to just be an antler. Still getting this out of it. Really lodged up in there. So it looks like we have here is 4-point buck antler here. See right here, this is pretty big game. So you can get a lot of meat out of here, and you can be eating for weeks off this. Hey gang, Tree Frog here again. I have my 4-point buck antler here. This is very important because now we understand that there's larger animals out here, bigger game out here, and there's blatantly a water hole near here that we can find and we can gather water from.
Here, you have some fast-flowing fresh water. This is much more ideal to drink from than stagnant water because bacteria is less likely to grow in a fast-moving phase water. In the outdoors, you always have to be looking around to use what's around you for your advantage. Whoa, what do we have here? Perfect. I always like to say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. This piece of trash I found is a perfect utensil to transport fresh water to a safer location and boil up to make it drinkable. Oh, didn't see you there, Meerkat here. You guys may all know that water is so important, but not all water can be safe. You must always boil water for 2 minutes and let it sit and cool down for around 1 minute. And then you slurp it up. Here, we have some stagnant, slow-moving water. This is not ideal to drink from. This is where parasites grow. This is a thriving hole for bacteria.
Food and fire.
Sometimes in the wilderness you're going to get a little hungry. You're going to want some food, something to eat. You can't always find or hunt game, and sometimes the vegetation just isn't right around, so you need to look maybe for insects, maybe for some worms. I actually found a worm right here I'm going to share with you. Oh, here it is. Come here, you little cutie. Worms are actually very high in protein, so I'm going to go ahead and chomp on that sucker. Tastes like dirt, to be honest, and honest with you. But yeah, protein right there. So the first worm was pretty good. I mean, you're not going to get, obviously, a ton of calories, a ton of protein. So if you can find a few of these suckers, it's great. I got 2 more right here. These guys, don't worry, they're completely healthy to eat. So, where's the second one? Oh, there he is. He's hiding over here. He knows I'm coming for him. But yeah, worms are completely healthy to eat, so you shouldn't be worried when eating them. There he is. So, let's get a hold of this guy. 1, 2.
When building a fire out in the wild, it's necessary to create a barrier around it, preferably with rocks, to prevent the fire from spreading and turning into a large forest fire.
When building a fire, you're going to need 3 things: kindling, tinder, and fuel.
Meerkat here. When building a fire, there are 3 main things. You have your tinder, which is nice, fibrous material that you want to rough up, and this is to catch the spark. Then you have kindling, which is smaller twigs. This is to really start and get the fire blazing. And then you have fuel, which is big logs and sticks to keep the fire maintained for a while.
So what we got here is a teepee fire. As you can see, all of the sticks are leaned up together in the middle, kind of creating a point. So when it's a flame, the smoke goes up through the middle, almost kind of like a chimney. So the pros of the teepee fire is that it creates a very bright light. So if it's very dark out, maybe you want to build a teepee fire so you can see more. The cons, unfortunately, are that they're not stable, so building one when it's kind of windy out is not a good idea, because you can see it can fall over very easily, and it burns very quickly. So if you want to create a sustainable, very long sustainable fire, this is not the fire for you.
Meerkat here. Here we have a log cabin fire. This fire is great for beginners because it's very easy to build. The pros is that it makes great coals for cooking food. The cons, though, is that it's hard to light because the tinder is actually in the middle with the kindling on top.
So this fire technique that we have here is called the 4-stick fire. Now what you want to do in order to build this is you take 4, preferably green, kind of larger sticks, and you put them into the ground kind of like so it's like kind of like a box shape, and you make layers. So the bottom layer, you have a line of tinder going this way, and then the next layer you have kindling, and then tinder, kindling, tinder. And what basically the objective of this fire is it makes it very easy to boil water. So if you have like a tin cup, you can put it on top, and this generates a lot of heat very quickly, so it helps you boil water quickly. The only downside to this is it is kind of a hassle to make. These sticks really have to be very tight. Yeah.
Bloopers!
In the wilderness, there are no second chances. If you have a chance to get rescued, you should get to the best place. In the wilderness, no, I get honest. There are no second chances. If you have a chance to be rescued, I messed it up. Don't end up. Stop ending up. There are no second chances. If you have a shot to be rescued, that's not English. If you have a shot to be rescued. In the wilderness, there are no second chances. If you have a chance to be rescued, it is in your best interest to get to an easily visible place. In the wilderness, it is in your best interest. I messed that one. In the wilderness, there are no second chances. If you are gonna be stupid like me, in the wilderness, there are no second chances. It is in your best in the wilderness.
So what we got here is a team. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
The
End.